Well, hello. I'm going to do something different for my review today. I'm trying again with this webcam, only under much better lit conditions. And I'm going by the preview here, which is about the size of a quarter. But looks like it's working better than it did in the motel in Fargo. So I wonder if my problem in Fargo was it was just too dark. Because I was thinking every live stream I've done... Sorry, I've got allergies getting me too. Every live stream I've done has been... I just realized my wood cabinet back there is open. It's going to bother me. But we'll get through it. It has ink in it and stuff. But anyway, every live stream I've done has been in the day. So I wonder if that's why it was just a little bit lower resolution. I don't know. But I'm using this camera because I'm actually might be involved with I don't want to get too into details because it's not firm yet, but I might be involved with doing a live stream with somebody or a co-video soon, and I want to get my end of the technology worked out. So yeah, I'm going to use this camera. One of the important things I have to be able to do is look down at the desk, and yes, I can make wonderful video with my camcorder looking down at the desk, but I can't live stream from it. So I'm trying this out. So what I wanted to do today is I want to look at some repair projects. And, I'm finally home for the summer. I've got a lot of work to do outside too, which is another reason I'm doing it this way. Minimal processing, more time outside. But let's just take a look at the projects I have. One drawback to using this camera, I'm kind of tethered to this computer so it can't go very far or else it's off the end of the desk. But I wanted to just look at a couple of the projects I have upcoming. I'm going to start with an answer to a question from a viewer. They asked if this pen, the Kreutzer, could take... This is the converter that's in it. And they asked if it could take the Lamy T10, which I believe is what's in this pen. Quick editorial note, the T10 is actually the cartridge, not the converter. But I don't have any Lamy cartridges, so I did the best I could for them. The Lamy Safari has a different converter in it that's designed more for to fit into the Safari because it takes pegs. So this converter. It actually brings up an interesting point. The nipples are quite different, but Lamy is sort of a proprietary one. But I've heard some interesting comments about, your universal converters aren't very universal. True. So, it does actually fit. I'm not sure. It looks like it must make a pretty good seal. And it fits inside. So, I think we've got a winner. It's a very tight fit though. So I feel like just because this nipple size is so different, I don't think I personally would trust it. So hopefully that answered your question. But then when I put it in the Lamy, it doesn't seat terribly well either. One of my fears using it in the Lamy is it would fall out. Didn't, but it always felt like it would. So we'll set those two aside. Yes, all kinds of good things laying here today. Okay, so one of my projects currently has its nib soaking in water. It is full of blue ink. This beauty, this is its body. Let's turn it the right direction here. No, or did I have it the right direction before? There we go, I think. I've never worked with this camera, so that's something else I've got to figure out with this. I may end up having to straddle it or something. A beautiful finish. This is a Kitab. This is a Israeli Palestinian brand. It says made in Palestine there. And then something in Hebrew lettering there, which Of course, I don't speak Hebrew. I need to research this company a bit, but this is just such a nice finish. And the nib looked like it was gold. I didn't study it too closely other than to see it was full of blue ink. I have a companion I picked up. This one's in much worse condition. One of the things, I think I want to put a little silicone grease right there. But the cap, that cannot be repaired. Now if we look at the nib, I cannot make that out on that tiny little preview. Warranted best quality. Oh, well, I brought a friend. So let's see. Well, that's failing for you. Yeah. I'll just look at it myself and report. 14 karat OSMI. So warranted ST quality, a K in a circle, 14 karat OSMI, and then iridium below that. So that's this nib. Okay, so this camera doesn't do close-ups either. This is the pen. I can see what looks like some damage that's been sealed by glue there. I unscrew this. Just like the other one, it's a button filler. Holy bucket. No, it is not. I was wrong. This is a piston filler with a bit of a problem. So this is going to take some more intensive repair work, I think. All in all, quite an interesting problem. So it may be a long time before you see this one worked on. The other one was just a button filler. I almost wonder if that's the original cap, the way it's fitting so poorly. So this bit, the pressure bar is a bit corroded. It seems to be in decent shape, so I may just reuse it anyway. Dried, of course. And I'll have to resack it, but I'm still soaking ink out of it. I'm going to show you a different pen here now. This is a Toes. What is it? Toes 992. Capped, it looks like this, and then it should have the piston turning knob on it. This is the piston. It's in good shape. I don't see where I'll need to do much work other than silicone grease. You might be wondering why it's out. Leaks. You know, I always try a vintage pen with water first. Leaks around here somewhere. So it's thoroughly dried out. I'm going to try some Tolley's crack repair in it. The crazing or whatever inside, I'm not sure if that's related or not. But bit of an issue. And this has, I kind of miss my camcorder here. The nib says OR 14 karat, and then there is a, I'm going to have to do some macro photography. There is a fun little symbol. Sometimes your repairs are pretty simple. This is a Japanese pen. I'm not sure the brand. The clip says new style. The nib just says special iridium. This pen really just needed a little bit of cleaning, and then I had to put some silicone grease around it. I had to put it around the threads and this bit back here, because it was plastic on plastic, and just rubbing, squeaking, and it wears it out, as you can see on this kitab. So sometimes you do just need to use a little bit of silicone grease. Don't get it in the nib. But this will be an interesting pen because it's an eyedropper, so of course I had to open it up here, and of course the silicone grease will also help hold the seal. This will be an upcoming first impression. So sometimes your repairs are pretty simple. Sometimes you get one that just works. Here's a Selector, which is Dutch. Is it given a... No, it just says Selector there. Pretty good shape, gorgeous celluloid. Selector nib. And the button. I don't have water here, but works like a charm. So got lucky with that one. Here's another upcoming project. This is a Toes 991, which actually might be the same thing as this Toes 992. Clear ink window. Totally different nib. It is a gold nib. It's a warranted 14K. Different ink window. And this one, the piston is a little tight, which may come from not being used in a while. So I could take it apart and put some silicone grease on it, which I probably will before I ink it up for its first impression. So this is a good pen to illustrate. See how this piston is attached? Now they're not all like this. They come in all flavors, but it looks like I should just be able to unscrew it. But got to be careful where I unscrew, because I don't know if you can see the gap there. I got to make sure I turn this bit down here and not the piston. Others you just have to do, like a Lamy 2000, you have to do excessive turning of the piston turning knob. This is another Toes or Rex pen. It says Rex pen on the cap with no number. One of those Bach nibs I like. And very little repair required. Works smoothly. Good shape, as long as I make sure it's clean before I ink it up. This one illustrates something else. This is a Prima 61, which is a Hungarian make. Biggest problem I had with this, you couldn't tell that was translucent when I got it. It was filthy. Just had to do all kinds of cleaning on it. A ridiculous amount of cleaning. And then clean it some more, and clean some more, and then I found all kinds of ink must have been in the feed. And I still think there's a little ink caked on the section. And back here is just permanently stained, and I could not get that out even after I took the pen apart. And this is one that comes apart pretty easily. It just unscrews like this. It also drops the piston down when you do that. But anyway, unscrews. And reveals actually a metal threads. And this pen actually is also good for another purpose. To illustrate here. When you buy a used pen, you don't know its history. Sometimes, see, it works. Sometimes they have a bit of a unique history, and they don't come with the original parts. This one, is that a Pelikan nib? Yes, it is. So how did this Hungarian pen get a Pelikan nib? Who knows? Interesting, though. Little bit of history. Sometimes you'll find trim rings are loose. I'm told that, and I need to do that now. I'm told that a little bit of clear nail polish will fix that. This is a Browse. Can't make out the other word. It's a make I'm not familiar with, so surprise. Oh, and look, dirt. And I tried cleaning it out earlier with my just water, and found out that the piston seal is also no good. So I'm going to have to remove the piston, which will involve unscrewing here, and replace the cork. Now, you can see it in there. Sure looks like it should be making a seal, but it's not. So, work to be done on that pen. Okay, two more here I have. Sometimes you get a mystery pen. I have no branding on this pen. It has a Parker nib, 14 karat Canada. So Canadian Parker nib, whatever this pen is. Open the blind cap. I've not seen a piston turning knob that looks quite like that. But again, if I screw it down, some of these pens actually had a cork piston. I think this one does too, and they just deteriorate over time. So I'm going to have to figure out how to remove this. It's most likely screwed in place, and I just have to unscrew it without breaking anything, which is always my fear. Ideally, everything gets done by hand. Sometimes you do need tools, which is why I brought these along. These are section pliers. You know, you can grip parts of a pen with them. I'm not going to do it here, but they might be used, for example, if we have a tight section to grip it and turn it loose. A lot of them are friction fit. This pen, it turned out, was not friction fit, so that's why I was glad I played with it by hand first. It was screwed in. So I consider these only as a last resort, but you'll notice that they are padded to help protect your pen. This is another one. Oops, wrong way. You can tell that the cork has gone bad, so it needs to be replaced with probably rubber O-rings. I actually prefer something like this for gripping pen pieces if possible. The tools are only kind of a last resort. And even though it doesn't help you any, until I figure out how to show you what's on here, but these are a helpful tool for investigating your pen more closely, checking if the tines are aligned. Because, one of the things I'm going to have to do with some of my pens is fix up the nib, maybe straighten the tines. And again, I like to work with my hands, not necessarily with tools. Because I'm not going to do it, because this pen, I'm pretty sure, writes quite smoothly. But if necessary, you can push down a little bit on a tine or push up a little bit on a tine. The less adjusting, the better. You may at some point have to heat set, which is another operation where you take everything out. You may have to do some nib smoothing, which always terrifies the hell out of me. So, there's always lots more that could possibly be done. So anyway, those are some upcoming pen projects. I'm going to go outside now, play in my garden, pull lots of weeds, mow the lawn, start trimming around the house, because it looks right now like nobody cares. So, hope you enjoyed this a little bit different kind of video, and look forward to Pens in Use on Friday. I'm not sure what I'm going to bring up that's special there, but I'll come up with something. So, thank you for watching. We'll see you later. Bye-bye.